Hi and welcome to class. Today is Yin. So if you have any props at home, feel free to grab them. I have a bolster and a block here. Nothing is necessary for the class, but it might feel nice to be supported a little bit up from the floor as we are holding the positions for quite a long time. So grab pillows, cushions, blankets. If you have any blocks, grab them. Anything that can help you feel supported throughout this practice. It doesn't have to be anything in particular. And then when you're ready, find a comfortable seat. We're going to start seated today. Resting the hands on the knees, you can turn the shoulders back and down so that the palms are facing upwards with a nice external rotation in the shoulder. And then just start to deepen your breath a bit here, closing down the eyes. Just letting your body land on the mat. Feel your belly relaxing, so whenever you take an inhale, the breath is sent down underneath the belly button, and then slowly exhale. Just finding how the body instantly calms down when you start to focus on the breath. And take another 2 deep breaths here. Filling up to the top of the chest and slowly, with control, easing the air back out. And then you can blink the eyes open. We're going to start this practice with a pranayama called hummingbee breath. So I'm going to make a little bit of sound, but it doesn't have to be very loud if you're not comfortable with making loud sounds, but it can also be as loud as you want it to be. So we are going to take a breath in just like we did, in through the nose. And the exhale is going to be through the nose as well, but we're going to hum on the way out like this. So it creates this internal vibration that is very soothing for the nervous system. And this vibration that we are creating will also sit in our body throughout the practice and hopefully into your day and tomorrow. So to make this as internal as we can, we're going to close out the other senses, or a couple of the other senses. So the thumbs are just, the tip of the thumbs is just gently going to plug the ears, and the rest of the fingers are going to go in front of the eyes, so it's completely dark around your vision. I want you to do 7 of these, so 7 deep inhales with a humming exhale. And if you finish before me or after me, it doesn't really matter. Just do it in your own time. And at the end, I will wait a little bit for those of you that have really deep breaths. So let's get started. We're going to do 7, gently placing the tip of the thumbs inside your ears, and then the rest of the fingers around the eyes. Take a deep breath in, and then with the exhale, we're going to hum. For those of you that have finished, just come back to your neutral breath here. Soft inhales and exhales, but no extra emphasis on the deep breath or the long exhale. Just notice the vibration that sits in your body after the humming that we just did. Enjoy the flow of energy in the body and the release of the nervous system. And then from here, make sure that your spine is long. So you might want to re-lengthen the spine. Let your shoulders drop back and down just to loosen up the upper body. We're going to tilt the left ear towards the left shoulder, stretch the side of the neck. You can let the hands be where they are. Maybe you want to walk out your right fingertips to lengthen the space between your ear and the shoulder. And keep the head towards the left. Just turn your chin towards the shoulder. Look down at the floor. And then drop the chin to the chest. Just roll through center and then up through the middle. Find that long spine again and drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Maybe you want to walk your left fingertips away from the body, or just reach them away from the body if you can't reach the floor. And keeping the head to the right, turn your chin towards your shoulder, look down at the floor, feel how the stretch now moves towards the back of the neck on the left hand side. And then drop the chin to the chest, roll through center and all the way up the middle. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms overhead, stretch the side bodies, and then hands to heart center, resting the thumbs on the sternum just for a couple of breaths. Deep and slow inhales and exhales. And let the hands come to the floor. Lean into your hands actually. We're going to move into a butterfly position. So the soles of the feet are going to come together and make this diamond shape here. So instead of having the heels really close to you, Bring them a little bit further out so that you have a diamond in between your legs here. We are moving into a forward fold, so grab the flesh of the glutes and just move that away so you can really feel your sit bones down. And then some of you might want a block or your cushion or anything in front of you so that you can rest your body onto something now that we are going to come forwards here. And you can tilt your head to one side if that is comfortable for you, or just keep the forehead down. If you don't have anything to rest on, that's fine. You can just hang over here, letting your head drop towards the floor. And then wherever you are, close the eyes. Maybe turn the palms to face up, curving the spine forwards. And then focusing in on the breath. Maybe you can count 4 counts to breathe in and 6 counts to breathe out. Imagine you're sending your breath into your hips or wherever you feel the sensation of the stretch. And you're trying to let go of tension in that area. So we're not trying to push into the tension to come deeper into our position. Just with each breath, trying to let go of something. It can be thoughts in your mind, or it can be tension in your body. Notice how the shoulders are relaxing, the face, the belly. And take 3 really deep, slow breaths more here. And then slowly roll up the spine to sit up tall once again. Grab a hold of your ankles here, roll the shoulders back and down, and then lift the chest gently to counter the stretch a little bit here. Gazing up towards the corner of the ceiling, and then release. We're going to move into a backwards position, coming into half saddle. So leave your left leg in front, bend your right leg behind you. So you're sitting with zigzag legs. And here it might be good to grab the calf muscle and move that out of the way so that we have the space to bend our knee in this angle. We are going to move back. So again, if you have anything you can lay down upon when you get back, if you cannot lay on the floor, I would recommend just to stack yourself up on anything so you don't have to hold a lot of tension in this position. But you can, of course, also just be here on your hands. You can come back onto your elbows or lay on top of something if you have anything behind you. If you have the space, you can come all the way down to lay on your back. And the hands are free to rest wherever you want. Maybe overhead to lengthen the side bodies a little bit here. Just take some time to move into this position so that when you get to where you're semi-comfortable, you can stay still for the next few minutes. The only thing moving the body is the breath. We are really working in these classes to commit to the stillness. So very often we fidget and we move because our bodies are restless, or because it's a habit of ours, and it might be even unconscious movements that we're making. So as we find each position and we try to become completely still, notice if you have those urges to just randomly move or fidget or crack a finger or something. And we are trying to avoid doing those unconscious movements, committing to the peaceful stillness of the pose. If you find that your mind is drifting away into thoughts, or that these positions feels really challenging to hold for so long, I would recommend counting your breaths. So, like I mentioned before, maybe find a 4-count inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just continue with that if that feels better for you. Take 3 more deep breaths here. Feel with the exhale how your body is grounding and melting into the mat. releasing just a little bit more on each exhale, filling the body up with softness and calmness, and exhaling tension and stress. And then from here, just roll a little bit gently over to your left side so that you can stretch out both legs here. And then just find your shavasana for a moment on the mat. Your right knee might feel a bit sore, but gently, gently, gently stretch it out. And maybe shake your legs a little bit once you get to your shavasana. Let the feet go in and out. Take some deep breaths here in stillness. And then you can gently bend your knees in. Hug both knees to your chest. Give yourself a warm hug here. Maybe a little side to side motion, massaging the lower back into the floor. And then we're going to roll over to one side completely. Use the hands to push us up to a seat once again. And then we're just going to move into the other side. So the left leg now is going to bend back. Grab your calf, twist it out of the way like you're kneading bread. And then you can maybe get that heel a bit closer towards your hip. And you stack yourself up however you need to here. This side might be more mobile, or it might be less mobile. So you might be able to go a bit further, or maybe you have to stack yourself up even more. See how you go. So take a few moments here now to just move, fidget, rearrange, so that you find your position, your variation of this position. And then committing to being still for the next few minutes. Counting to 4 with the inhale if you want, and to 6 with the exhale. Breathing in space and softness, calmness. Breathing out stress, tension. Take 3 more really slow breaths here. And then just gently rolling over a little bit to your right side so you can stretch that left leg out. Come into your shavasana for a moment, palms facing up, flat on your back on the floor. Feel the heaviness, once again, of your limbs. Feel the heaviness of your torso. And then you can bring the knees back into the chest. Give yourself another warm, nurturing, comforting hug. Little side to side rock, maybe back to front, releasing the lower back. And then rolling over to one side, using your hands to come up to sit. We're going to move into fire log. So crossing the right shin in front of the left shin. And by that I mean the middle of the calf, not by the ankles. So we're going to try to bring the shins forward and then the feet out a bit wider, so they align with our knees-ish. And if someone has a bit more open hips, you can stack one foot on top of the bottom knee, so that there's the right leg on top of the left. Here, placing the hands behind you, lifting the chest, and then coming forward into your forward fold. It might be nice to have a block or your cushion here, just to rest the head onto something as you come into your fold. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with just letting the head hang over as well. And then, as we have been doing, move your way into a still position, breathing through the tension, breathing through the discomfort, not pushing into the discomfort, but trying to soften where it needs to soften, release where it needs to release, and let your body very slowly move deeper and deeper in to this stretch. this last minute, see if you can come a little bit deeper, either into the physical position, or maybe you can deepen your breath a little bit more for this last 4 to 5 breaths. And then coming up gently and slowly. So you don't want to rush out of any positions, even though you might have become a bit uncomfortable there. Take the time to let your body readjust. Unhook the legs, maybe stretch them out, give them a little shake. And then bend the knees back in. We're just gonna bring the feet about mat width apart and then let the knees drop over to one side and up and over to the other side. Do that 2 more times to each side. Over and over. Nice. Come back up to center and then move your way into the other side. So the left shin is now stacked in front of the right one. Once again, measure. I like to always measure here just to be sure that my feet are as wide as my knees. And if you did on the other side, you can stack your foot on top of your knee or one shin on top of the other shin. Place the hands behind you to lift the chest and really lengthen the spine. And then with a long spine coming forwards into your fold. Move your way slowly, slowly. There's absolutely no rush to find your end position here. And then you can drop the head at the end. Long deep breaths. 4 counts in, 6 counts out. For this last couple minutes, see if you can come a little bit deeper as we did before, either physically into the position or just by deepening the breath, or maybe deepening your awareness of the body, of what's going on the inside. Closing the eyes and tuning in. 2 more deep breaths here. And coming up gently, carefully again, no rush. Come back into your hands. Slowly stretch out your legs, maybe give them a little bit of a shake. In and out, up and down. Place the feet wide on your mats and then let the knees drop over to one side. And up and over to the other side. One more time each side. Nice. Come back to center. Cross the ankles this time, just so you can come up and over onto your hands and knees. We're going to move into Anahastasana, so heart melting pose. Knees are stacked right under the hips. Walk the hands forward. Keep the hips over the heels, and then drop the head to the floor. So I like to shift my hips back a little bit so that my belly and my thighs can come together. So you should feel very balanced here. You're not very far forward here holding tension, and you're also not dropping into your child's pose. So as best as you can, hips over knees, melt the belly to the thighs, dropping the forehead to the floor. You can also drop the elbows and bring the hands into a prayer on the floor. And then moving, if you don't feel completely balanced, move your hips a little bit forward, a little bit back, until you feel like you can just rest the hips on top of the knees. And completely let go of any tension in your back or your belly. Also, your shoulders and neck should feel quite relaxed here. Deepening and slowing down the breath. Decompressing the spine here. So let the spine just curve or arch downwards like a waterfall from the tailbone, down the lower back, mid-back, towards the upper back, and all the way to the top of the neck. Feel the breath in your belly here. Belly expanding with the inhale and softening back down with the exhale. If you do have quite open shoulders, you can also put the chin onto the mat instead of the forehead. last two breaths here. Deep breath in and long breath out. And then push into the hands to come up onto hands and knees. Place the knees close together and come into a closed knee child's pose. Let the arms reach back in space and the forehead drop down to the floor. This time just let the shoulders round forwards, the shoulder blades separating, and the whole weight of the torso is resting over the legs. And then from here, rolling up the spine, coming up to kneeling, and then just move the legs from underneath you, stretch them out in front of you. Coming into Paschimottanasana, so the legs are going to be straight in front. And then again, here we can move the flesh of the glutes out of the way, finding our sit bones. And this is also a place where you might want some props on your legs so that you have something to rest on once you're here. And it could be a lot more stacked on top of each other. You can also keep your knees bent here if it's a lot to keep them straight. So whenever you find your variation of this forward fold, you can start to hinge at the hips and come forward, drop the head. You can just let the head hang, or you can stack it on top of something to rest the weight of the head onto a prop. We don't want to go to our full capacity of stretching here. We want to be at about 60 to 70% of what our body can do. So we're not pushing into our flexibility here. We are going to a range where we can feel the resistance of the muscles, but it's not painful to stay there. And we are working to be past the muscles and into the ligaments, into the fascia, and trying to soften a little bit deeper than with just normal stretches.
If you're starting to get impatient in your stretch, start counting the breaths again. 4 counts to breathe in and 6 counts to breathe out. Allowing the body to be still and being okay with the mind maybe being a bit impatient. So that's pretty normal, especially when we hold positions so long. Don't worry if the mind keeps going to, oh, when are we finished with this pose? The practice is in not giving in to the impatience, but staying with the task at hand, which is staying still in the position we're in. We have about 1 more minute here. So seeing if you can come a little bit deeper, physically or with your breath. And then slowly rolling up the spine to come back up to sit. Roll the shoulders back and down. We are going to move into a reclined position. So I'm going to give you an option here. If you have a block or a bolster can be used for this, or a rolled up blanket, just to elevate the shoulders here. So I'm going to put this block or whatever prop you have up underneath the shoulder blade, so that it's quite high up towards the neck to get an opening in the chest, so that the back of my head drops to the floor and the arms drop out wide. The legs can be in any position that you want. You can keep them bent, maybe knees together or soles together and knees apart. So at any time you feel like you've had enough of the elevation of the chest, you can just remove whatever you have under your shoulder blades and come down flat on your mat to have your shavasana. Otherwise, we're staying here on the block for another minute or so.
Take 3 deep breaths left here. And then if you are on top of something, you can just roll gently off, remove whatever's under you so that you can come flat on your back for your shavasana. We're going to do 3 big sighs here. So breathe in through the nose all the way to fullness, and then open the mouth and just exhale it out in 1 big sigh. So take a deep breath in here, all the way to the top, and sigh out the mouth. Again, deep breath in through the nose. At the top, sip in a little bit more, and exhale. Inhale through the nose. Hold at the top this time. Hold the breath in. And sigh. And then just come into your normal neutral breath. Letting shavasana take over your body. Letting gravity ground you into the floor. And surrendering the weight of your body. Feeling how the muscles are softened after your practice, how the breath is calm, and how the mind can maybe stay a little bit more present and focused on the body. Take 2 more breaths here, maybe deepen a little bit again. Just very gently drawing the inhale and controlling the exhale. And then you can start to gently move into the fingers and the toes, the ankles and the wrists. Clasping the hands, stretching them up and overhead as you stretch the feet away from you. Take a deep breath in here. And then hug the knees to the chest. Even tighter, even more loving than you have done before. And give your knees a bit of a sway from side to side. And
then let yourself roll over to one side and gently push yourself up to a seated position, finding back to where we started, hands resting on the knees, legs are crossed, hips are grounded, and then the crown of the head are reaching tall up towards the sky. Take a few moments here to just find back to the body. Maybe notice the difference between now and the first time we were here for an hour ago. And then you can breathe the arms up towards the sky, palms to meet over your head. Draw the hands down to heart center. Let the thumbs touch the chest bone. And then we bow the head to the fingertips in gratitude to ourselves, in gratitude to the practice, and gratitude to everyone else around the world for practicing with us. Namaste.